The tumor came out, the hemorrhage, most of it came out. The tumor was attached to the lining of the brain, so I put a patch in its place because we have to cut that out because it is a part of the tumor. And then we put the bone back on with the little titanium plates and screws, and like I mentioned, it doesn't go off in airports or anything like that. The big part of the next few days will be getting him off the tube, getting him more alert, getting him up to the chair and start to move around. Okay?
What do you think about his swallowing? Is he going to be able to?
It's hard to say. I think as he becomes more alert, we'll know more.
Okay.
So initially, he may have some difficulty, but by about 3 to 4 days out, maybe up to a week, we should know whether he's going to need a more long-term solution. And I don't mean permanent, just more long-term, so a few months as opposed to just being able to eat. And by that, I mean either a tube in his nose to give him energy, and then if he still isn't awake enough to swallow, then it would be a tube into his stomach. But the goal would be short-term. I don't think this type of thing will cause a long-term inability to swallow. Okay? So ICU stay. Once he's done with the ICU, he'll go to the floor. Once he's done with the floor, he'll be going to rehab to try to rehabilitate himself back up. Okay. Like I mentioned the first time we talked, how much of this he gains back, I don't know. Some of the damage is permanent.
Right.
We won't know that till about a year out, how much he gains back. Some people make miraculous recoveries, other people don't. The area where the hemorrhage is in front of the area that controls the left side of his body. So it gives him a decent chance to gain it back because it wasn't directly in the area that controls. But it certainly is it is still an important area of the brain that was damaged.
How long do you think that tumor was there before this happened?
If it is a meningioma, which is what I'm betting on, years and years. They tend to grow very slowly over a matter of years.
And how big was it?
It's about this big.
Okay.
A little smaller than a tennis ball?
No, not as big as a tennis ball. Maybe like an egg. Other questions?
Is Rachel over there? Anybody?
Any hazard of a guess on how much percentage-wise you think he gets back, just based on, not that you...
No idea. No idea. He was moving a little bit, so that's a good sign.
Left side?
Yeah, he had some movement in his toes, and occasionally I heard that he may have twitched his arm, but how much of that is actual signals coming through versus reflexes is hard to say. So I really can't guess.
Is that going to depend on how hard he works in rehab too?
Some of it will. Some of it will. It'll be a combination both of how much damage is permanent and how much he works with the rehab docs. Everything I've heard about him, I don't think that'll be the issue. But it'll be keeping his mood up because this can take a big toll on somebody's mood to know that they're very weak now.
Yeah, he's using.
I'm not worried about his support. I think he's got plenty of support.
Yes, he does.
Other questions?
Did you have anything?
But you don't see a problem as far as him coming off the vent in the next day or two?
I don't. You know, it's always hard to say. There's other
Right.
things that can develop,
Sure.
pneumonias and clots and things like that. But we take them as they come and we try to prevent them when we can. The best thing to do is get off the ventilator as
Right.
quickly as possible.
Right.
Now, I mean, if he comes out of it and he's, in distress over the vent, I mean, are you going to sedate?
Yeah, they will.
Be able
The
to
ICU
sedate
team
him?
will sedate him and keep him
Okay,
calm.
comfortable.
Yeah, comfortable. They'll have to wake him up intermittently to check on him. I'm going to be ordering another MRI, so hopefully that'll get done before it's extubated, because that way he doesn't have to deal with being awake
Claustrophobic,
through it.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Mm.
So after he gets extubated, the speech pathologist will come by and evaluate his swallowing ability, and whenever he passes their tests, that's when he. Yeah. We'll get him some. The hospital food isn't that great, so
No.
I'll be honest.
No.
But you guys can bring him some yummy
That's
food once
right.
we're all done.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
Okay. All right.
And then we'll just keep the catheter in then for as long as need be.
The Foley catheter,
Mhm.
yeah, I will defer that completely to the urologist, not my area of
That's-
expertise.
That's good.
Okay.
Thank you for your
That's
hard
about as
work.
good news as we can have, is it not?
This is
Yeah.
it. This is as good as it gets right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the next steps are, we can have good news and bad news, but we will definitely relay it to you guys as quickly as we know it.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you so
All right.
much for your
David, do you have any
help.
questions, David?
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you
great.
so much.
Appreciate it. Not a problem.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
And when will I see you again?
I'll probably swing by tomorrow morning.
Okay,